What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, if you've been to the center lately and you've seen this boat, this is what this video is all about. We're going to embark on a couple video series of me finally restoring this boat. Now, this boat has been in our family since I can remember. It is the boat that I grew up fishing on. It's the boat that I learned to ski and wakeboard on, and we had so much fun in this boat as a family. It has been my biggest goal since this boat has been out of action to get it back in the water. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. We're going to make a start on the engine and everything like that before we start doing all the pretty things in the interior. So let's get into this video. But first, a little bit of backstory as to why this boat has not been in the water for so long. Okay, so the year was 2006 and Cyclone Larry had come around to far north Queensland and had caused up a stir. So we had this boat filled to the brim with water. It was chained to our fence in multiple locations. So first half of the cyclone came, it tipped it over and it knocked all the water out, and it was still chained to the fence, unfortunately. The second half came, and what it did is it flipped it all the way back up and went boom. So the prop was dug probably about a foot into the ground. I'll see if I can find some photos. Hopefully mum and dad have some. So the prop of the motor was dug about a foot into the ground. The boat was up against the tree. It was really, really cool looking, but unfortunately our boat was wrecked. The prop, everything like that. We had to get a crane to take it out. It was a really, really cool experience, but unfortunately it wasn't really good for the boat. So there the boat has sat for years and years and years. 2006, it's now 2025, so 19 years this boat has just sat and diminished. When I lived up in Cairns in about 2018, 2019, I bought this boat up to me and I started doing a lot of work on it. I actually repainted the whole boat. This isn't the original paint. I repainted the whole boat and did a whole heap of other things, rebuilt the motor. But then the beauty of COVID came around. Boat parts were really expensive to get. I didn't have the time to do it. So the boat project got put on the hold and it has sat for another 5 years. But not anymore. We are here to revive it. So like I said at the start, we are going to be working on the engine, the key, all the fun stuff. So we're going to be working on all the main stuff to start with before we do start to beautify this beautiful boat. So just like that, buckle in, grab some popcorn, and let's start fixing this thing. Let's go. Alright, so before we get too far into the actual boat build and like the tidy up and everything, we got to make sure that the whole engine and all that kind of stuff is working correctly. So I have a new ignition here because long story short, my bags got stolen when I went down for a trip to Melbourne for Ed Sheeran one time, and the boat keys were actually in that. My only copy of the boat keys. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the ignition today, and then on another day we'll drop the leg and we'll drop the oil, change the impeller, and then we can kick her over. And if she kicks over, good news, then we can actually get into the old girl. So let's get into it. Really? Did the screws need to be that long? Jesus. Jeez Louise. Anyway, we finally got it out. It is time to get into the bad girl and see if we can get stuff. My nose is running like a tap today. Anyway, let's go. Okay, with a few screws and a little moving magic, done. Now we just got to get this girl out and replace it. Fingers crossed. Alright, so all I am doing now is I am just taking one off at a time and replacing it with the new one. So I follow a cable back, like this purple one here will go into there, that goes into there, blah blah blah. So it's pretty simple to do. I do have an electrical background, so it does help a little bit, but other than that, you just follow the cable colors and you can't really go too wrong. But let's get into it. We have the old one out finally. It's all put back together. The choke works, throttle works, everything's looking good. So I'm going to go to dinner at my in-laws now, and the next thing you'll see is me hopefully dropping the leg, getting a new impeller, getting some new oil, and then we can fire this thing up. Oh, I need a new battery. Yeah, I need a battery. Oh well, add it to the list. Okay, so today's mission is to drop the leg on the old 40 horsepower Force and see if we can get to the Impala, because I'm going to Cairns tomorrow. So while I'm in Cairns, it gives me the perfect opportunity to get some boat parts like the Impala and the oil and everything I need for this lower gearbox. So what we're going to do today is we're going to disconnect this little gear shifting linkage in here. Then there's 4 bolts here, another bolt underneath the trim tab which we need to take out. Which one thing you do need to be mindful of when you're taking off this trim tab is to mark it in multiple places, because you do have to make sure that you put that back on in the exact same location. So we're going to do that, and then yeah, there's another bolt underneath there that you can get to. Once you do all that, pull it all off, and then the Impala and everything will be in there. But I'll see you again then once we get it all done. But for now, let's get to work. Okay, that shifting linkage is off. Alright, we now have the gearbox dropped off the back end of the motor. So what we're going to do is inside here is your Impala. You can take that out, get a new Impala tomorrow. Everything is looking pretty good. Like, there's all still fresh grease on all the screws from when I did that about 5 years ago when I was living in Cairns. I did try to sort of redo a few things. You'll see up in here, I redone all the fuel lines, put new oil filters, everything like that. It all probably needs to get done again. I don't think I need to do the lines, but I will get a new filter tomorrow. But it all looks really nice and clean in here, which is really good. So, fingers crossed. We'll change the Impala in that unit and put some more grease on it, drop the oil in the bottom, and then fill it up. Fingers crossed, you should be good to go. I am worried about this though. Cables come out, and that's my trim motor to trim it up and down. So I might be in for a new one of those, but hopefully I can get it to rewire. We'll see. Anyway, let's take the Impala out. Oh, and just like that, we have the Impala housing there. Looks all nice. Like I said, it's still got that grease from when I done it 5 years ago. Pretty cool. To be honest, that Impala still looks perfect. But we've come to this effort. Let's take it off. Let's just make sure we don't lose that keyway, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of tape, wrap it around that keyway. And that's what we're looking for. Alright, so now I've got some tape around the keyway. We're just going to pop all of this back together and then drop the unit back up into where it needs to go, just to keep all the dirt and dust and everything like that. I've got the parts I need out, and I know what oil and everything like that I need for this lower leg. So what we're going to do now is, yeah, put it back together. Alright, so we have put the gearbox back on the boat, and it's now time to jump under the hood and have a look at what type of fuel filter I will need. So just a little one down there. As you can see, it looks pretty tight. I'll flip you guys around. It looks nice and tidy. It does look nice and tidy in here. I still got compression in my motor, which is awesome. I love that. New lines, like I said, I reran all these fuel lines a few years ago, but they all still look really nice. For good measure, we're going to get some new spark plugs. Obviously, they won't be very good. And we're going to get a new filter. It's been sitting for a while. So, get that. Hopefully, these relays are good. They were good a few years ago, but we'll have to check that. So, I've got what I need out of here. We'll put all the casing back in. So next thing you'll see is me at the boat shop in Cairns getting all the parts. I have the parts secured now, so I've got some new oil for the lower gearbox. We've also got some new spark plugs, a new impeller, and then also a seal kit for the gearbox. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to drop the leg again, change that impeller over, put it all back together, then we'll lower it down if I can, drop the oil, and yeah, go from there. We'll change the spark plugs, do all that fun stuff. Let's get into it. Okay, just like before, we're going to undo these 4 bolts, lift it up, the new impeller will go in there. We have to make sure we put some new grease on it, but I'll show you all of that. Let's get into it. Alright, we'll take out that keyway that we stored away yesterday. Now what we're going to do is we'll grab our new impeller that we just bought. Beautiful. Brand new. A little bit of lube just in that housing, just to get it started, because you want it to spin just a little bit before the water gets in there. So you have to lube it up just a little bit just to get it started. Alright, that keyway's in there looking beautiful. Pop the new impeller on, line it up with the keyway. Now time for our housing to go back on. Now a little tip and trick here, because obviously it's too big. What you want to do is you want to turn this clockwise, because that's the way it's going to spin. And eventually, boom, it'll pop down nicely, just like that. Once it's down, get in your screws. Wham bam, you got a new impeller in there. How good is that? Shifter, just firm it up. Beautiful. Alright, that is one part done. Okay, everything is all tight now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the leg back in and get it all back connected, put everything back in, and then we're going to change the spark plugs before we drop the motor down and we do all the oil. So let's get into that. We finally got the leg put back together. So now I'm going to change the spark plugs up in the top, and then we will drop the leg and change the oil. I don't know if I'm going to get the oil done today. We'll see how much time I have. It is already 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but let's get it done. Oh, she is gone, ski. That's not gonna spark, is it? Oh my days. Inside our little goodie bag here, wham bam. 2 brand new spark plugs. So, if you've never seen a spark plug before, that is what it's meant to look like on the end. Down there is what creates the spark and it lights the fuel. So, let's get these 2 popped in. tighten them, put the caps back on, should be good. Alright, we were doing really well. I had to drop the leg because I realized that I'd accidentally knocked it. Sorry, son. I had to re-drop the leg because I realized that I had accidentally dropped it into gear, which meant that the gear linkage, the shifting linkage up in there, wouldn't actually connect. So that was a bit of a bummer. And when I was just putting my trim tab back on, it just broke. It is that old. I'm glad it broke now rather than when we're in the water. So looks like I'm up for a new trim tab. That has nothing to do with whether the motor works or not. So we're not going to purchase it until we can figure out if the motor actually works. Next step is to drop the leg. We'll do the oil, and then I got to go home and find the fuel tanks and all the fuel lines, which I'll probably have to replace and do all that. So yeah, it's not going to get turned over today, but we're getting so close to it being done, and I'm getting so excited. Let's get it. All right, now it's all back together. Beautiful. We can redo up that shifting linkage. Then what we're going to do is just quickly shift it in and out of gears a few times just to make sure it's all good. Just gonna shift her in. It's hard to do. Oh yeah. I'm gonna put you down for a second. Beautiful. Oh, it's like I knew what I was doing this whole time. I haven't had the slightest clue. Anyway, do it. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting there. So it's really easy to do the oil on these lower gearboxes. The only thing that you need to make sure that you do is you fill from the bottom. You want to make sure that you have no air bubbles or very little air bubbles inside that gearbox. You want mainly oil. You also do need to make sure that you get a seal kit because these are one-time use. Once you use them, that's it. So new seals and new gear lube, and we are good to go. So I just need to find something. We'll drop this old oil. Let's get into it. Okay, so we'll release the vent. Beautiful. As you can see, that seal in there is fried. So we'll drop this one. That should be everything done now. We have the new gear. We have the new gearbox oil all changed over. It was a bit of a mission, but we managed to get it done. So, new gearbox oil. We have new impeller in there, new spark plugs. Everything is getting there. So, all we have to do next, get those new fuel lines, get the fuel tank, make sure that's all clean, hook it all up. I need a battery, and then we should be good to kick it over. Fingers crossed, hope and pray. Drop a comment in the video if you think it's going to work or not. Just like that. Hopefully, we have a boat going again soon. Let's go. Okay, we are back. We have the fuel somewhere down there. There's the fuel, which is good. We have fixed up everything we need to in the motor. So now we are just mounting all of that back on where it needs to go. Everything that's like the throttle and all of that good stuff. We're mounting back that where it needs to go. And then we are going to cross our fingers, say a prayer, and hopefully this thing turns over for the first time in probably close to like 15, 16, I don't know how many years. We went over that at the start of the year, but that's irrelevant. Let's just hope and pray that this thing works, because then we can work on everything else. But until then, Dano's here to help me today, which is awesome. So he's gone inside to get the drill. We're going to mount this, and we'll get into it. Let's go. Everything is here, fuel, battery on the other side, Dano Dad. We're all ready to go. But I got the wrong fuel on.
Barely see the plugs are different.
Yeah, it's a big chunky one there.
Big boy.
So I have to go home and find that, hopefully.
Even if we...
So we'll get back to you on the update on how that goes. Get a W for Dan in the chat, and a shout out to Peter, our next door neighbour. Couldn't find the lead. Keep that because I'll go buy a new fitting for the other end and get that fitted up. All nice. Yeah, boy. We should be good to hook up the battery again and say our prayer. And hopefully she starts. Yeah, boy. Hooked up. Water running. Okay. Jesus, I'm scared. This is the moment of truth.
Yeah, boy.
Flick it into on. Ready? Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Battery in. Everything seems to be good in there. I cleaned the battery terminals. Kill switch was off.
Yeah, kill switch is good.
Well, I guess if anyone here has experience with this kind of stuff, drop us.
Electrical?
Yeah, let us know in the comment section down below. But I guess this is where that video, this is where this video is gonna have to wrap up.
Take a pause.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get into those relays properly and see if I'm getting power to my starter motor, maybe. And even see if I'm getting power in here. I could have knocked something loose, like I said.
We can bolt meter.
Yeah.
Somehow like the actual cable as well.
Yeah. They should all still be good.
It should be sweet, like
yeah.
They're all wrapped, so it shouldn't be much corrosion if any.
If not, if anyone knows 40 to 70 horsepower outboard, preferably with one of these, let me know. For under $1,000, we can work out a deal. I'll promote your business or whatever. We are back, and we are back with a multimeter, and we're here to diagnose and see what exactly is the problem, where the power is stopping, what's stopping the power, and yeah, everything like that. So we'll take the cover off, we'll hook the battery back up, and yeah, let's see. First, I'm going to just check the battery and make sure we got charge in there, which we should. In around here, there's two things down there where the power comes in, so I'm going to check that, make sure we're getting power there. And active. Alright, start her up. Not really clicked in then, yeah. Okay. Well, that's a good sign. I heard a relay click, so that's a good sign.
That was like almost a starter click too, hey?
Yeah. I'll plug everything back in. Why am I not getting any power? Alright, so we've done a bit of diagnosing on the motor and we think it's the starter solenoid that could be going. We are going to bridge it very carefully.
Look how we're rednecking this thing.
Daniel's going to pull his Cletus McFarlane out his butt and do some redneck stuff around here. We're going to basically hotwire it, like bridge it, just to see if we can still get power to the starter. I think I'll do it for a split second. There'll be a spark, there'll be some noises, but yeah, let's get that done. And hopefully, it's all good. All right, we're in neutral, ready to go. I'm gonna turn the key on. All right, so I'm gonna turn the key on whenever Dan says so. He's getting prepped.
Is it that black one, hey? Yeah.
So it'd be straight above the red one, yeah.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah.
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 Alright, I'm ready, I think.
I'm gonna turn it on. Ready?
Yep, leave it on.
Yep. Nothing?
No spark, no. The solenoid could be dead.
No. It's on just the on. I haven't tried to turn it over. I'll turn it over. Thanks playing, great time. I'm turning it over still. Still nothing?
Nothing, bro.
Alright, so yeah. Back onto Reddit and to find the next out. Downside of having an airport just there. Anyway, we will get back onto Reddit and we'll try find what else could be the issue. It's reading 12 volt now.
Yeah, 12.22.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to turn it into just on.
Yeah.
Still reading 12.
Just on, hasn't changed.
Alright.
22.
We'll turn the ignition on.
0.03.
0.3.
0.03.
Oh, 0.03.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you want to do it and read it,
I'll double check it,
but that's a cable.
but that should indicate to us now that there is corrosion inside this cable, which is causing voltage drop. So when we turn the ignition and draw that power from the battery, it's not actually getting up and into the engine.
Makes sense.
Fingers crossed. It does make sense. It's very
Cable's been
old.
sitting there for 25 years.
Exactly right. Actually, when you get home tonight, you should ask Mum and Dad if they have some old photos of when the boat went up and in the tree, because I'd love to show them.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Anyway,
Larry,
yeah, Cyclone Larry,
Great.
2006.
Just nearly 18.
Yeah, good times.
Won't take how old I am
I
now.
started grade 8 that year. Anyway, so I'm going to check this to double check. We'll confirm. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so battery comes in here. We've got one probe going down onto the positive, one probe on the negative, and the multimeter is reading 12 volt. Alright, turn her on.
So this is just straight on.
Yep.
Hasn't moved.
Nah.
Now I'll go to start it.
Boss, drop down. We are losing all voltage.
Like literally all of it.
Everything. Alright, so that is a pretty easy fix. I just need a couple of lugs, some 6mm. We'll try the aluminium core again, just to keep it a bit better.
Yeah,
Why not do it right? Spend an extra couple bucks and get marine grade.
Doing it again in 2-3 years.
That's exactly right, with all the salt. So, we'll get some 6mm aluminium core. We'll rerun that. That is going to be on another video, but at least we have it diagnosed and we know what the problem is.
Yeah,
So, that is awesome, awesome news. Before we left, we hooked up the rest of the electricals that were like all this stuff, like the bilge pump and just the other lights and all the mumbo jumbo. For some reason, Dad told us just to do it. Anyway, we done it and we now have a clicking of a solenoid, which is good. That's a very good sign. So Dan now is rubbered up and gloved up. Well, not gloved up. He's got his rubber handle screwdriver. I'll flip you around. He's got his rubber handle screwdriver and we're going to short it out redneck style. It is in the on position.
Ready? Oh, we get smart.
Straight away.
She's clicking. She wants to.
Does that mean the... Hang on a second.
Yeah, straight up and down.
Alright, it's in the on position. I'm going to crank it. The first one is me and then the rest is you. It's still just cranking on. So nothing's happening. The solenoid's firing, but the starter motor's not going. Which makes me think that it is the starter motor. That big bad boy.
Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's very hot.
Hang on, let me turn it while you do that. Alright, let's stop before we blow ourselves up. Yeah. Oh, I guess it is the end of the video. I gotta go back and try and source maybe a second-hand starter motor if anyone knows one. I probably already got one by the time this video comes out. I've been very lazy. I apologize to you guys. But we're trying our best. We're gonna bring back Food Challenge Fridays. But just like that, I need to stop talking. This video is already going way too long. I've already said the outro like once or twice. But just like that, may God bless. We'll see you soon. Love you all.